ranks and became professor in 2021. Professor Ajayi had served in various positions over the year. He was Departmental Examination Officer, Chairman, Departmental Exhibition Committee, Student Advisor, Ladoke Architecture Student Association, Acting Head of Department between year 2018 and 2020. Member, University Research and Consultancy Committee, Chairman, Faculty Examination and Timetable Committee, Member, Faculty Examination Invigilation Monitoring Team, and Member, University Examination and Timetable Committee. In community service, he has been playing significant roles in his local communities at Ogbomoso, Shagamu, and Enijesha. Professor Ajayi has supervised and co-supervised 6 doctoral degree theses, 40 master degree dissertation, and over 150 undergraduate student projects. He has attended both local and international conferences in Nigeria, in Germany, Malaysia, Ghana, Australia, China, Namibia, and South Africa. In the realm of scholarship, Professor Ajayi has served as reviewer and external examiner for several institutions, which include University of Johannesburg, South Africa, Federal University of Technology, Akure, Federal University of Technology, Minna, Obafemi Awolowo University, Ile-Ife, University of Ibadan, and Caleb University, Imota, Ikorodu. Is an Architects Registration Council of Nigeria registered architect. He is also registered by the South African Council of Architectural Professions and the Incorporated Chartered Institute of Building, United Kingdom. He is an affiliate member of the Nigerian Institute of Safety Engineers and fellow Institute of Policy and Management Development and Development. In the home front, Professor Ajayi is a responsible, loving, and caring husband to Omolara Oluwemima Ajayi, and their marriage is blessed with wonderful children. The Deputy Vice Chancellors, Registrar, the Bursar, the University Librarian, Provost, Deans, ladies and gentlemen. Professor Oluwole Ajayi will be delivering the 67th inaugural lecture of this university on behalf of the Faculty of Environmental Sciences as I declare the lecture open.
University Senate, Provost and Deans of Faculties, Deans of Postgraduate School, the Dean Faculty of Environmental Sciences, the Head of Department of Architecture, my colleagues, staff and students of the university, my law, spiritual and temporal, member of my family, nuclear and extended, distinguished guests, friends and well-wishers, gentlemen of the press, greatest alumni of architecture, greatest Ladokites and Osutekites, ladies and gentlemen, tremble. All glory be to Almighty God, for he has done great things for us. Psalm 126 verse 3. We are filled with joy, for everything comes from him and is seized by his power and is intended for his glory. All glory be to him forever. Amen. Mr. Vice Chancellor, sir, I humbly acknowledge the grace of God in my life, which has granted me the privilege to stand before you today, August 14, 2025, to present 67th inaugural lecture of this great citadel of learning, Ladoke University, in Ogbomoso, the best state university in Nigeria for several times. In my careful assessment, God and only God alone is the reason for my standing before this August assembly today. Mr. Vice Chancellor, sir, please permit me to appreciate you and the university community for the opportunity to deliver this inaugural lecture today on behalf of my Faculty of Environmental Sciences. Today's inaugural lecture is the first in the Department of Architecture and unique as it concerns architecture and construction ergonomics, focusing the often neglected in physical construction services. In essence, the construction workers are fragile and require substantial attention to ensure sustainability of the industry and built environment. This in turn requires a paradigm shift from neglecting the construction workers in site operations, and therefore amplifies my focus in the area of my specialization in construction architecture. My teaching and research has been focused on architectural design, construction planning process, and scheduling, space ergonomics, buildability ergonomics, with context of residential, institutional, commercial, religious, and complex building. The research focus, however, advocates the need to monitor the injuries to construction workers through architectural design and construction site operations delivery. My journey into academic career began in August 1998 after my first degree in the Department of Architecture here at Ladoke Akintola University of Technology, former OSUTEC, under the headship of late architect Y.O. Bello, Akibi. 5 of us were employed as a graduate assistant to grow the department. I got confused at first, as I was already thinking of how I will finish my master's degree and move to Sierra Leone, to Japa, to Sierra Leone, to start another life. As fate will have it, I was encouraged as a junior at the academia and the graduate assistant in the department by Pastor Tunde Olatunji, my friend in need and indeed. And Mr. Chinedu Wabara, who was then our quantity surveyor lecturer, with words of hope. Indeed, I was encouraged by their responses, and since then, the rest is now history. Which time and space will not allow me to present in these circumstances. Introduction. Construction industry is characterized by the frequent mobility of workers, constant change of workplaces, a tremendous diversity with regard to the importance and type of work performed, with extreme sensitivity to economic instability, and large cyclical and seasonal variations in activity level. Rahim, 2023, in his 54th Ladoke Inaugural Lecture, ascertained that construction industry has certain peculiarities, among which is the fact that work is being carried out in the open and subject to vagaries of weather. The industry is beset by serious difficulties as its operations are carried out in both indoors and outdoors. Mr. Vice Chancellor, sir, according to Ajayi 2013, in my study, the industry is characterized by fragmentation, multiplicity of operation, multiplication of crews, and industry culture, which in turn contributes to unforeseen, unfamiliar hazards and unsafe behavior of workers. Increasing construction worker productivity by treating worker as a unit is flawed because labor and health is not fungible. In any research findings, or in my research findings of construction economics, some of the consequences of fragmentation in construction industry impede on the systematic process responsible for the workers' well-being. These are already highlighted as follows. Talking about poor communications, we talk about inadequate pre- and post-design specifications, lack of early integration, that's coordination and collaboration between various key functional disciplines involved in life cycle of a project. However, practical rules on construction sites are like many other work organizations, as it involves site layout planning, design of workplaces, work time allocation, and the time taken per each work task, as well as the use of different techniques for job execution. The construction industry is classically unique for substance, form, size, and purpose, with each building and facility being described as custom-made. Construction, while being an economic activity that provides our facilities and infrastructure in its physical services, is beneficial to man in some aspects and detrimental in others. Construction research Industry Research Information Association, RIA 2020, advocates buildability as the extent in which the design of a building facilitates ease of construction subject to overall requirement for completed building. Why the constructability is the optimum use of construction knowledge by the construction workers and experience in planning, engineering, procurement, and field operation to achieve overall project objective. The industry entails a wide range of activities as its physical processes entails various economic-related problems. With these activities, Earth continues to kill, it continues to disable many construction workers worldwide. Occupational health hazards are common to all industries and can be particularly acute in the construction industry. The site operations in construction is to promote health work and safety of construction workers, thus neglecting the concept of occupational health and safety in construction operatives leads to workers experiencing musculoskeletal disorders, that is work-related, which in turn negatively affect architecture and construction ergonomics. That is the purpose. Architecture, the industry starts out from other industries as having the highest worker injury and fatality rate, which makes the highest risk sector in regard to work-related musculoskeletal disorders. That's WMDs, whom the lecturer of today term as a poor cousin to architecture and construction ergonomics, having stemmed from occupational health and safety. Mr. Vice Chancellor, the title of this inaugural lecture was chosen to bring to the fore the status of activities in the building construction industry as it affects the lives of its employees. The topic, architecture and construction economics, poor costing, the neglected in physical construction works in construction services, establishes the fact that construction is a physically demanding and potentially an hazardous profession. Understanding architectural and construction economic issues in construction industry can play a critical role in ameliorating its risk among the construction workers. Architectural economics. Architectural ergonomics focuses on creating spaces that are comfortable, safe, and efficient for occupants considering their physical and cognitive needs by applying the principles of human factor and anthropometrics. This involves designing buildings and their components to align with human body dimensions, anthropometrics, movement, patterns, and cognitive processes aiming to optimize human building interactions and improve user satisfaction. Area of focus for architectural ergonomics. Which focus on architectural ergonomics also involves, one, spatial design. Ergonomics influences how our spaces are organized and arranged to facilitate movement, access, and interaction. Considering factors like height, width of doors, door clearances, and traffic flow within the building. We talk about furniture and fixtures, accessibility, and universal design. Benefits of ergonomic design. It reduces injuries and health issues. Ergonomic design can minimize the risk of musculoskeletal disorders, eye strain, and other health problems caused by poorly designed spaces. Increase productivity and efficiency. Enhances safety. Ergonomic design can minimize hazards and risks, thereby contributing to a safer and more secured environment. In my buildability ergonomics research, the essence of ergonomics in architectural design results in creating spaces that are comfortable, safe, and efficient for human interaction. It involves how people interact with their environment in designing solutions that minimize strain, maximize productivity, and enhance the well-being of people, of users. Building construction and ergonomics. Building construction is a physical process and present numerous ergonomics work-related hazards. This type brings together skilled and unskilled construction workers. With increasing development of the construction processes, building construction workers exposure to unfavorable economic risk makes it an extreme risk sector in regard to work-related musculoskeletal disorder, the poor person. In June 2017, submitted that MSDs remain the most prevalent form of occupational ill health, promoting examination of the reason that has been less successful than perhaps hoped. Occupational health hazards are common to all industries and can be particularly acute in construction industry. However, we rarely see discussions in the press and programs on TV relating to occupational health. The losses due to occupational health problems are great and cannot be quantified, as many workers are unable to maintain their lives after working and retired from construction work activities. ILO classifies the construction industries as government and private firm erecting building for habitation and for commercial purposes. It views the industry as a high-risk sector with significant safety and health challenges. Construction work by its nature entails exposure to hazards and a high rate of occupational disease, which traditionally creates fatigue, strains dull faculties, and wears out the body system, which is expressed in my study, in my research, as Ajayi and Adeoye 2018. The workers within this concept are primarily described by a specific level of work they perform. The nature of the work itself imposes a lot of ergonomic hazard to the construction workers because they normally work in awkward positions, and due to work pressure, they lift heavy loads, which stresses their back and creates back injury. Normally, ergonomic related problems do not quickly occur to the workers. They only start to react only over a long period of exposure, and these are very dangerous problems as they have a long latency period between exposure and onset of symptoms. Despite sophisticated safety and health regulations in most countries, it is no secret that the industry is responsible for relatively high occupational injury rates. The complexity and instability inherent to this sector have repercussions on health and safety of the construction workers. Then, because of globalization, turbulent market and ICT growth, a more productive and innovative workforce is desired, and every employee in construction wants a healthy and stimulating environment. According to Value of Design and Construction Economics, according to my study in Buildability Ergonomics, Ajayi and Tuala 2015, Design and Construction Economics consider construction phase to be one of the most dangerous industries. Research shows that injury rate of the construction industry is still 50% higher than that of all industry, as asserted that there was a 28% increase in the number of injuries to workers in the industry. In Southern Africa Development Community, injury rate for construction workers ranges widely from 0.35 to 49.42 injuries per 1,000 workers, while occupational fatalities in the region ranges from 0.85 to 1.6% fatalities per 1,000 workers, with construction trades accounting for about 3/4 of all fatalities. In Nigeria, construction industry has a high rate of workplace injuries, with some studies reporting that it accounts for a significant portion of all workplace injury and death. Specifically, the industry accounted for 39.2% of the injuries and 34.9% of death at workplace. Anyway, you agree with me that this is highly underreported. The emphasis on the health of the construction worker is a modern corporate strategy which is aimed at preventing work-related diseases, accidents, injuries, occupational stress, and enhancing potential well-being of the workplace, work environment. In construction activities, the design is separated from the actual construction process with resultant problems in communication, coordination, and interpretation. Thus, this divorce from production in the construction process is reinforced by the rigid compartmentalization of training in the various design and construction professions. Mr. Vice Chancellor, consequences of this approach is the isolation of professionals from technical development in the industry due to the corporate approach to construction activities that disallows innovation and technological development in the industry. The effect of this isolation is inadequate and given to alternative construction materials and technology. Even more serious is the lack of concern for construction workers. Work environment has a psychological and psychosocial impact on the health of a construction worker. Ajayi et al. Emphasized that there is a clear evidence in the relationship between work environment and the health of the health and safety of the workers. The work environment factors and individual construction workers are intervening variables resulting in occupational illness and injuries. You can see in our figure 2, talking about the intervening variables, and which talks about the work environment, the intervening variables that result into occupational illness and injury. You can see also the work environment is highly dynamic with high level of uncertainty. Table 1 also expresses that, which shows that several factors that may contribute to high injury and fatality in compared to manufacturing industry. You can see that we have shelter, we have the issue of shelter there in comparison with construction and manufacturing industry. Repetitive movement, work hours. Now, in an empirical study by Ajayi and Smallwood, 2008, among construction workers representing 6 construction trades in South Africa, on the extent to which job factors constitute a problem to their health, the following were determined to be top 5 site problems resulting from little or no ergonomic input. That is, working in the same position for a long period, bending and twisting of the back in an awkward way, working in awkward or cramped position, working when injured or hot, adding heavy and unshaped materials and equipment. Ergonomic approach to construction activities. Mr. Vice Chancellor, the approach to construction is often an applied nature as it involves adaptation or design of workplace or work environments to suit the capabilities and limitations of workers. You can see in Biko 3 how the physical abilities of the human body is related to work tasks, tools, equipment, and materials. Mr. Vice Chancellor, the Ajayi 2013 opens that workers' equipment, workplace, and work environment is very germane to construction activities, and therefore work must be designed in a way that prevents and control work health-related problems, ergonomic risk factors in construction activities. The risk factors are characterized by construction jobs, which stresses the body and this as indicated in the figure. Stresses the body, and the job activities involving any of the ergonomic risk factors contribute or result in an increased risk of strain and injury. The greater exposed to these risk factors, the greater probability of ergonomic injury. And this is what is called work-related musculoskeletal disorder, the WMDs, which is the focusing that we are examining today, that is that negatively affect construction workers. These are common ergonomic hazards that occur in construction streets. It involves working with various parts of the body rather than in a straight or neutral position. In general, the more extreme the posture, the more the force needed to complete table 2. Table 2, talking about the factor, the possible results. We have the force exertion, we have the after working in the same position, the possible result, the action and the causes, the direct impact and the indirect impact on the body. Challenges of ergonomic activities on various streets. In agricultural design and planning stages of a project, paying attention to health and safety issues of construction workers in the design phase could have a significant impact in reducing the risk of injury during construction. Though, with the prevalence of ergonomic risk factors, the risk of injuries or illness to workers with musculoskeletal disorder increases, thereby causing work-related musculoskeletal disorders as earlier discussed. Construction activities and ergonomic challenges. A large volume of existing research identifies the affiliation of construction injuries to different construction trades. Previous research conducted by Ajayi 2012 and Smallwood 2000 conducted inter alia investigated problems relative to trades and activities, and submitted, among other things, that concreting that requires shoveling and smoothing the surface, thereby affecting the lower back, steel reinforcing that requires rapid repetitive twisting of the wrist and bending, which result in the development of ganglion cysts, and this affects the lower back and upper extremities respectively. Floor finishes requiring constant cleaning and bending, handling heavy materials and considerable hand-wrist motion. We talk about painting and decorating involving reaching away from the body as well as reaching overhead. Paving and other external work requires working on ground level and bending. Empirical research on WMDs by trade. Agile 2013 amplifies the research conducted with their responses by the University of Iowa on job factors that constituted a major economic problem among 2,000 construction workers, as highlighted in the figure. The research findings concluded that there is evidence of an association between musculoskeletal MSDs and certain work-related factors, which result to injury or illness after being exposed to physical factors. Presently, Mr. Vice Chancellor, there is a dearth of data on WMDs in the construction industry in Nigeria. My study entirely supported that fact that the influence of MSDs is a challenge on organizational productivity and loss of control in Nigeria construction industry as peculiar to other developed countries and has not been taken seriously by the stakeholders. It is therefore assumed that the impact has a direct relationship with the construction workers in view of the fact that assigned tasks dictated by the architectural designs can only be safely accomplished when workers are in a good state of health and the work environment is safe, conducive for execution and assigned duties. In another study on unfavorable economic practices in construction industry, Ajayi and Twala, 2011, observed that numerous activities on construction sites pose economic risk to workers as they affect joints, muscles, ligaments, tendons, peripheral versus our nerves. This view the perception of construction activities as it precipitates into WMDs by 568 building constructors in the southwest Nigeria. Based on the findings, the respondent perceived that the list of activities in figure 7 as said below deemed to occur on construction sites with notable mean scores greater than 3. The top 4 passive activities that participate to WMDs on a greater scale were lifting, frequent bending, climbing, and descending. In another similar study on Nigeria 2012 on buildability ergonomics, Mr. Vice Chancellor, submit that risk factors and ergonomic interventions indicate that designers could make a difference directly in the promotion of safe work environment in construction to create a positive health and safety culture in the workers' duty operations. Based on the findings, Mr. Vice Chancellor, sir, the highest prevalence of work-related muscular disorders cases by a carpentry specialty range from 20% to 24% for those doing drywall, ceiling, and the building of concrete forms. Thus, generally, it was concluded that as the duration of employment increases, the prevalence of the symptom also increases. The duration of employment in carpentry was significantly associated with work-related musculoskeletal disorders of the shoulders, hands, wrists, and knees. Health and safety in construction site operations. Mr. Vice Chancellor, sir. Health and safety in construction is based on the premise that hazard exists has been designed into permanent features of the project. Agile 2013 evaluated the impact of this poor health and safety on building construction workers in Nigerian construction industry in Southwest. The study indicated that poor health and safety culture in the construction industry is a major cause of WMDs. Smallwood and Ajayi 2008 submitted that positive H&S culture, that health and safety culture, constituting the following 5 C's, are essential aspects of health and safety management construction workplace. These are commitment, competency, control, that's monitoring staff, knowledge and awareness, consultation involving the workers in the reviewing of the problem and procedures, communication. That's occupational health hazard information needs to flow effectively with the organization and the people outside it. Operational system perspectives in construction health and safety. Mr. Vice Chancellor, sir, health and safety management systems are rule and procedural based. The systems are based on the premise that the health and safety are both management and line function. In other research of my construction ergonomics, Ajayi et al. 2015 concludes that from research findings that communication involves the sharing of ideas, expressing requirements, accepting change, and forcing thoughts. This pattern allows the workforce to share ideas such as toolbox talks, as well as formal talks to communicate workers' input and gather objective contribution to improve works and safety procedures. In my research, my contribution here is that management must be willing to make the workforce actively involved in developing health and safety interventions and policies, rather than being a recipient. In part of design, Mr. Vice Chancellor, sir, the design is a problem-solving process, which requires the ability of the designer to adapt the construction work environment to meet construction workers' health and safety needs in the design of permanent features of a project. This Ajayi et al. 2015 research on construction made easy through design affirmed that in the design of facilities and other permanent structures, designers which concerns health and safety of end user and invariably often include the similar concerns for construction workers during the building construction process. The study supported the belief that there is a greater ability to influence health and safety of a project earlier during the conception, the concept and design phase. As we see in figure 8, that the relationship of health and safety, they report that the design occurs in the upstream of construction and has the potential to reduce health and safety risks as it impacts on construction ergonomics, both directly and indirectly. Thus, directly through conceptual design, selection of materials and type, detailed design, specification of finishes and materials. Indirectly, through completeness of design, particularly services, accessibility to site, compatibility of design to construction, and the nature of the work processes and the facilitating of pre-planning. Mr. Vice Chancellor, architecture designers also influence indirectly through the choice of procurement systems. In a related study conducted among the architectural technologies in South Africa, it was noted that design contributes to the system, contribute to this onset of work-related muscular disorders. And that certain procurement system, such as design and build, engender ergonomics in construction. A design intervention for construction ergonomics. Design intervention establishes the fact that the professional designers could make a difference in architectural design ergonomics that involves workers' anthropometry and access prefabricated buildings and temporary works. With regards to WMDs, using an ergonomic approach in identifying where safety is compromised, in an earlier study by Ajayi in 2013 and Ajayi 2019, the analysis of design factors suggests that permanent work designers, that's the architects, the civil engineers, the MI, mechanical and electrical engineers, could have reduced the risk in almost half of the injury, illness, and accidents in construction workplace. And temporary works designers, that is scaffolders, the form workers, could have reduced the risk of more than a third of injury illness, and accident. In essence, participatory health and safety design results in optimal design in permanent works and work tasks. Extent of occurrence of WMDs in various places. Mr. Vice Chancellor, sir, is as earlier stated, the construction industry has certain peculiarities. Among the fact that the work is carried out in the open and subject to unfavorable economic practices due to its uniqueness and its influence on the health of the construction workers. As you can see, the phases of construction project as shown on the board, which we have the planning, we have the design, we have the pre-construction, we have the construction and post-construction, as depicted in figure 9. Each phase of the project life cycle plays a critical role in achieving the dream of the client by creating a masterpiece as established in figure 9 below, as you are seeing there. Ajayi 2013 affirms in a pilot study research where the respondents were drawn from Oyo Ogun and Osun State. The perception of respondents was measured on a level phenomenon, which are seen as highlighted in table 3. Talking about WMDs that occurs in construction. The mean score were calculated, and respondents were required to indicate the degree of occurrence of WMDs during the various phases of construction. Based on the responses, the respondents acknowledged the site layout planning as the one that can mitigate the onset of the WMDs, concept and initiation that contribute to the onset with missed scores of 3.71. In the study, 54.5% of the respondents actually conclude that WMDs occur in construction and affect the construction workers' health and well-being. And with these findings, it was noted generally that WMDs occurs in construction, concept and initiation contribute to the onset of WMDs, design contribute to the onset of WMDs, construction activities contribute to the onset of WMDs. That is our core person. The Vice Chancellor, sir, given that construction site and project is full of activities, Ajayi 2013 evaluated the perception of purposely selected general contractors with the Ministry of Works in 6 states of southwestern Nigeria. The questionnaires were designed, but based on the responses, perceived extent to which construction activities impact of the health of construction workers. It is deemed fit here and revealed that the respondent perceived that the activities deemed fit and happened to have impacted on construction workers with mean scores greater than 3.0. Part of construction activities in Construction Workers Act. In similar study, the research study by Ajayi and Akintola in 2015 investigated the perceived extent to which these various phenomena of the listed activities occur in construction sites. It is evident that these activities are performed on a greater scale in construction site and could have a resultant effect on workers' health, as seen in that figure 10, talking about the frequent bending up to working while out or injured. The missed cause, Mr. Vice Chancellor, sir, having recognized the occurrence of these activities in construction sites, the respondent was asked to indicate the perceived extent to which these identified activities affect their body. Generally, the findings from this study conducted among the registered state contractors confirmed the activities in the construction site as being impactly and negatively affect the health and safety of their workers in the general construction industry. Mr. Vice Chancellor, sir, on the disorders, as the activities mentioned earlier, poses threat to construction workers' health and well-being. It results into sores and muscle joints, back, wrist pain, and heel health. Restricted days, activity day for workers, and no coordination of the body. Ajayi et al. 2015, in a research study among the building construction workers, also on 31 projects in 4 universities in the southwest Nigeria, and asserting the WMDs are health problems usually experienced as a result of construction activities in workplace. The respondents were asked to indicate their perceptions and the extent at which this onset affects our impact on their body. And highlighted the main responses and was subjected to Doka multiple range test as post hoc test. However, the workstation area design in construction workplace, that's poor layout design of workstation. Also, workplace environment. This is considered as a risk factor that relates to floor or ground surface temperature, noise, inadequate housekeeping and lighting condition, and reducing the onset through design. In conclusion, ergonomic plays a vital role in achieving several sustainable development goals, SDGs, particularly these related to health and safety and sustainable work practices. That SDG 3, SDG 8, SDG 9, SDG 10, SDG 11, SDG 12, responsible construction and production. However, physical factors continue to cause serious damage to workers' health as a result of the effort. Workers are exposed to unfavorable ergonomic hazard without knowledge. And so, now, the recommendation. The study provides the industry with information on the impact on construction activities, and which are highlighted below. With the system of health and safety in construction activities, a multidisciplinary approach is needed in assessing and monitoring the risk. The government should create an enabling environment for the implementation of health and safety arrangement. Mr. Vice Chancellor, sir, to God be the glory for his blessings. How far he has helped me, who has made this day a reality. Glory be to him. I want to say indeed, because he lives in my life, I can face tomorrow. As my future and my life is indeed worth a living, just because he lives in my life. It is with this great honor that in all things, you made me believe that I have not been alone in my life. Thank you, Lord. I'm greatly indebted to so many people that have played one role or the other in my life. I acknowledge that the many individuals and the groups who have contributed to my academic journey and granted support to make this 67th inaugural lecture possible. You have really left an enduring mark on my personal and professional growth. I'm really grateful to our esteemed and amiable Vice Chancellor, Professor Razak Olatunde Ronkalelu, that is celebrating his birthday today. And by this, I'm dedicating this lecture to my mentor, to my father, and to my guidance. And I want to appreciate his management team, the DVC, the registrar, Professor Dio Araromi, the DVC, AI, Professor TJ Ogunkole, DVC, Strategy and Development, Mrs. Hobalogun, the registrar, Mrs. K. Olatokun, my university librarian, Professor A.S. Ebijuwa, my dean, Professor Wimsola Areho, the dean of environmental sciences. I want to appreciate Professor Dejagbola, Vice Chancellor, Olabisi Onabanjo University. I want to appreciate the registrar, Olabisi Onabanjo University. I can see you. Thank you very much, sir. I want to appreciate Professor Timothy Adebayo, Vice Chancellor, Ajayi Crowther University, Oyo. I want to appreciate the executive, the Deputy Chief Executive of Olusegun Obasanjo Leadership Institute, Abeokuta, Professor Adedeji Daramola. I want to appreciate you. I want to appreciate Venerable Professor Rotimi Omotoye, the Rector of Ajayi Crowther Graduate Technological Seminary, Abeokuta, Professor Jeremiah Ojediran, the Vice Chancellor of Best University. Dr. Sonny Oseni, I can see you here. Thank you very much. I appreciate you. He just came back from London yesterday and he drove down to Ogbomoso. I want to appreciate you, sir. Lector, Gateway, ICT Polytechnic, Ogun State. My Lord, Honorable Justice Taiwo Odewale, he could not come. He said he was having malaria. Thank you very much. I know he's watching me online. I want to appreciate you. My heartfelt gratitude goes to all the past Vice Chancellors. Mr. Vice Chancellor, sir, I want to appreciate all the past Vice Chancellors. I say thank you very much, sir. I appreciate you. You are a father to me indeed. I want to appreciate Professor A.M. Watolagbe, my supervisor, mentor, and a father. I'm happy to celebrate you today, as you can witness the seed you sowed many years ago. Please rise up for recognition, sir. Thank you, sir. I celebrate you, sir. I celebrate you, sir. I celebrate you, sir. I celebrate you, sir. Now I want to appreciate my PhD supervisor. He's watching online, Professor Wellington Didibukutwala. This is the professor, executive dean of Faculty of Environmental and Built Environment at Water Sisulu University. Ujani Professor Nkosi. Thank you very much, sir. I cannot thank you enough. Your wisdom, guidance, and oral support that I enjoyed during my PhD days with you were immeasurable. You will never walk alone in the journey of life. You gave me all the support I needed and exposed me to the world of opportunity, which I'm still enjoying to this today. I want to appreciate my parents, Pa and Mrs. Felicia. Pa, Olashoye, please, can you rise up mommy? Yaolu and Baba Olu. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you. That's my parent. He was born some months ago. Daddy is 90 years old, while mommy is 87 years old. I want to appreciate God for them. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you. To my siblings, I want to appreciate you. I want to appreciate you. That the Lord has blessed me with Pastor Mayowa Ajayi, Pastor Bisabibola Mayowa Ajayi, Leto Lope Ajayi, rest in peace, Dr. Bolaji and Prophetess Tosin Ajayi, Engineer Yojeso and Abigail Ajayi. To all the grandchildren of Lee Ajayi, I appreciate you. I appreciate you. I want to appreciate my KBC. My KBC is Royal Majesty Oba Isikadeyeba Ayeni, the Akinla of Erenjesha. Okay, is watching online as well. My uncles, my cousins, my sisters, my aunties, I want to appreciate you. I celebrate you. Please, can you rise up for celebration? Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I appreciate you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I want to appreciate all my in-laws that are here today. I want to appreciate you. Papa and Mama Omoladun Adeyi. If you are here, can I rise up for celebration? I want to appreciate you. I want to appreciate my fathers in God. My fathers in God that are here. Those Baba Venerable Afatoki and all the clergies of Ogbomoso Grand Diocese. I want to appreciate you. I want to say thank you very much. Can I rise up for celebration? Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much, sir. I appreciate you. You can sit down. My prayer goes to all my students that are here. My past, present students that are here, the PhD, the masters. If you are here, just wave to me. Thank you very much. I appreciate you. I want to appreciate my fathers in God, as done earlier. My bishop, the Right Reverend Bishop Titus Olayinka, it's not available absence here. He's in the program. I want to appreciate you, sir. Thank you for your guidance and your spirituality. Thank you for my good friends, all my good friends, my colleagues from IJGS, all my cousins, all my friends from US, from UK, from India, from London. I want to appreciate you. MCIO, thank you. Oh, while you are there. Oh, thank you very much. Thank you very much. All the Osutekites, all the Ladokites, thank you very much. I want to appreciate as well too. Also, I want to acknowledge my fathers in the profession. Ask the buyer of our way. Please, can you shut up? These are my fathers. Baba Odeyemi. Actor Odeyemi, thank you very much, sir. Baba Moyo, thank you very much. I can see you on the. Thank you very much, sir. More strength to you, sir, and more grace. I want to appreciate also all my staff, all the staff in the department. I appreciate you. All the people, the faculty staff, the dean, the administrative, the professors in the faculty. I do appreciate you. My deep appreciation goes to my sister, my soulmate, my loving, my caring, my darling wife, my IDNS, Omolara Oluwemimo Ajayi, who has been there on this journey all along. You had fun. You had fun. Believe in my dream. Even when I was away for many years, pursuing the dream of my life, when I will only be at home for 7 days in a year. My dear, I thank you for your patience, love, and understanding. Thank you very much. I feel blessed and fortunate to have you as my wife. You will always be blessed. To all my children, I want to appreciate you. Oluwatomisin Ogechi, Oluwatomilayo Chidera, Oluwatomilayo Blessing, Oluwatomilope Chidera, peace and all. For your understanding and support always. You are amazing children. And I believe you will achieve great things in life. With this peace above, all I say, by faith I got to this point, and by that faith, my future is in his hand. And with this song, I want to sing, and I say, Igbagbọ́ mi dúró lórí ẹ̀jẹ̀ àtòdodo Jésù, kò jẹ́ gbẹ́kẹ̀lé ohun kan lẹ́yìn orúkọ ńlá Jésù. Mo dúró lé Kristi ká ilẹ̀ irọ́ ìyanrìn mi. Mo dúró lé Kristi pátá ilẹ̀ irọ́ ìyanrìn mi. Ladies and gentlemen, it is real to affirm in this journey that smooth seas does not make a skillful sailor, but turbulent seas makes a skillful sailor. I thank you most sincerely for your time and attention. Let us remember that architecture and construction economics, the poor causing, that is the WMDs, work-related musculoskeletal disorders that are causing problem, health, and diseases to our workers, needs not to be neglected in our physical construction services. Thank you, everyone, for listening.
If you want to point a criminal, do so. Which one is Arajaye Lojude Ogbomola? It's my birthday. He has said it. And I've prepared cocktail downstairs. So, on this note, I declare this 67th inaugural lecture closed.
Ladoke Anthem.
Please let us remain standing while the Vice Chancellor and other dignitaries on the high table take their leave. Security men, please don't allow any other person. Let the principal officers leave.
The promise. Now we're singing, all dressed in splendor, as your promise again is kept. Oh, dear sweet rainbow,
Guests outside of Ogbomoso, please, your reception is at the back of the teaching hospital. Please wait to be properly directed.
we together began one day. You led me on as we've come this far. We fixed our shoulders and determined just to win.